Seems like every so often with every update on AI, we see mass panic on social media. The last rift was caused by Adobe of all companies, which gave the biggest FU to all the creative minds who poured their hearts and soul into making Adobe stock what it is today. I honestly wasn't going to make a video about this topic, but I felt the need to shed some light on things and where I stand on it. And I know introducing AI or automation to any industry puts many jobs at risk, and it also sucks that job security nowadays is at all-time low. And just a disclaimer, and I know saying this might come as an unpopular opinion, I am not actually against AI. I'm against how people are using AI. The thing is, we have been using AI for a really long time, but it was behind closed doors, and is not as public as it is today. There's so many different types of AI. Like in the automotive industry, for example, a huge part of production, especially in the chassis, is run by a large number of robots with very sophisticated AI. Imagine back in the day, having an assembly line with 100 workers doing welding. And this is already being replaced today by robots that working in the same way, but you only need 2 technicians on each shift to make sure that they're running correctly and don't have any catastrophic failures. This already existed for decades, and it keeps on improving year after year. But there is a big difference between manufacturing AI and the creative AI. The manufacturing AI is deployed in factories and only used to perform a specific task. They don't have a capacity to deviate from that one task. Then their mission is to produce the perfect part every single time. They don't scrape the internet to improve themselves. It's a closed loop system where an AI learns from a specific learning modules that the engineers feed it. Think of it as creating a specific content curated to make it an expert in that task. This made a lot of sense because most of these actions involve the health and safety of the customer. It avoids lawsuits, and it also makes sense to reduce the liability on the workers themselves. And you can see the same thing also in the food industry, where stuff really involves safety and health. It's a lot more reliable to use an AI and a robot in the manufacturing space to make sure that your food is safe with no human intervention and no bacteria. And the next wave of AI is being poured into the creative sector, where for thousands of years it relied heavily on human input like art and poetry. So we see Meta, Nvidia, Microsoft, and Adobe, among others, are investing heavily. And here comes my issue with public AI. The fact that you own a social platform, use it to train your AI, and then update your term of service after the fact is the scummiest thing I've ever heard. It's not just like they created a giant disclaimer that they're going to use our pictures and properly ask for consent to use my data. And I'm pretty sure if I opt out, it just doesn't save me from what they've already trained in the past. Everything I have uploaded before for years. So not only are they killing the jobs of creative people, they're doing so by stealing their work too. Like, how ironic is that? Now we started seeing companies publicly using AI for their promo material like Disney and Magic the Gathering. Obviously, it received a lot of backlash, and this is just the beginning. Sadly, once you set the wheel in motion, there is no going back. Just like the email and cell phone, good technology will have a place in every home. Just give it time. And the next 10 years are going to be very interesting for our generation, especially in the content creation and media. It's the same thing when they tried to dupe the background actors. Instead of being rehired to do more movies, they wanted to replace them with AI 3D models, just to take their likeness and pay them pennies on the dollar. This is exactly what happened when the artists participated in the Adobe stock program, and what was going to happen to the Hollywood background actors, which thankfully they protested back in 2023. The problem is that they are pushing to use the images in perpetuity, which means that they train enough images or scan enough actors, everybody else will be very disposable, and pretty much the future of digital art will be prompts and just feeding back to itself and keep on that loop of learning and learning. The worst thing is that they're tricking people to use their services and train their AI to replace them in the future. I was just checking my Adobe profile and I found out that my consent was given without my permission to use my work, and this is just crossing the line. I never gave them consent, and if I knew that, I wouldn't have even used it. So we're at a point of history where our action now will shape how the software will be for the next 20 years. If we let big corporations roll over us, we'll be in a future where privacy means nothing. Posting any work on the internet will be just for grabs, not just for you and me, but for big companies that run software that can compete and replicate our work 100 times faster with 1,000 times the distribution. anyone in the creative field will be replaced. But there's a glimmer of hope. I think people really vote with their wallets and their time. If we make a stand and not use their services, they have no other option but to cave and use this technology in the way it was supposed to be used. Artists can use it to ethically save time and speed up their process. Like I can spend some time to work on AI to improve my workflow and to improve my storytelling, or explore how a scene of a mood would look like. For example, if I decide just to change a color on the fly without just me going in, I can just ask it to like, hey, what would it look like if I turn it from green to red? Not only will help me with my work, it will save a lot of time. It's a time that I would gladly take to spend time with my family. So my problem was never really about the technology. And as an engineer, I always believed that technology was agnostic. It has no feelings toward you and how you use it. People, however, use it in ways that make you question your existence. You can either create a nuclear bomb or a power plant. You can help warm people homes in a cold winter or wipe them out in seconds. AI has the same capability. Either many people lose their jobs to corporate greed and not being replaced, or it will help people gain back time to have a healthy work-life balance. This is just a food for thought. Let me know what you think. I know this video is different than any other content that I have ever done, and I'm not expecting it to do well, but I wanted to raise some awareness that we still hold the power to sway how we want this technology to be utilized, and it's our duty to show how to use it for good. Now, thank you so much for watching, and remember, just take it one day at a time, and I'll see you in the next video.